24/7 Sports insider Travis Branham has dropped a report that Illinois fans should be dreaming about in their backcourt. That right now it looks like Illinois is the leader in the race for John Blackwell after there was some reporting out there from national people, also some people close to Illinois, that it looked like Duke may have a little bit of a lead. This is one of the first reporters to come out and say it looks like from sources that Illinois has a bit of a lead in this situation. To me, it looks like it's a neck and neck situation. It looks like Duke has a really good opportunity here. It looks like Illinois has a really good opportunity here. John Blackwell dropped his top six, and in that, you had Illinois, you had Duke, UCLA was in there. And so you do have an opportunity here to land one of the best transfers. All right, here we go. I found the top six here for you: Alabama, Arizona, Duke, Illinois, Louisville, and UCLA. Now, it sounds like this is a race at the top between Duke and Illinois, definitely with the way that Travis was talking about this situation here. John Blackwell is a phenomenal player. He's a super gifted player. He's a type of player that could really raise Illinois' ceiling for next season. I mean, if Illinois is able to retain a lot of the guys in their roster and get John Blackwell to come over to their team, we're talking a situation here where this Illinois team could be the preseason #1 team in the nation. They would definitely be preseason top three if you're able to bring back guys like obviously Andrej Stojakovic, David Mirkovic, Tomislava Visic, Vladimir Visic coming off the bench. You got freshman Quentin Coleman that's coming in, who's not Keaton Wagler, but he's definitely a guy who can be a bit of a Keaton Wagler type of guy for you. But Illinois, even if it doesn't work out with John Blackwell, they have their hands in some other transfer portal cookie jars here a little bit too. So I don't think it's completely boom or bust with John Blackwell, but I do think that Illinois sits in a really good situation here, especially with its dad Glenn playing for Illinois. That whole kind of thing there. John Blackwell had 19.1 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, 2.3 assists last season, and I mean, he had a great year. He played great against Illinois when he played them in the tournament, and in the he had 31 points in the tournament against Illinois. But the problem with what he's been going through at Wisconsin is this is a team that cannot break through anything in the NCAA tournament. So if he can go to Illinois, where they just broke through, they made it to a Final Four, you're looking at a situation here where you say, look, you don't have to go to a Duke to win. We made it further than Duke did last year. And our offense really fits what you want to do. You go to Duke, you're going to go to a place where you're the senior veteran and you're going to be looked upon for all this stuff. You come to Illinois here, we've got other guys who are veterans. We got Andrej Stojakovic. We got Tomislava Visic. We've got other guys who are veterans in the sport. They're not going to just be putting it all on you to be that veteran out there. You're going to have other guys with you. Now, I would not mind for them to put it all on him at the end of games because John Blackwell is a bit of a closer. He's done a great job of hitting some pretty big shots in his time in college basketball. But overall, this report from Travis, and I'll just bring it up here so that way you guys can see it. Talked about multiple different guys. Let me bring this up first. The NBA draft type of stuff. So John Blackwell did put his name in to declare for the NBA draft, but he is going to keep his options open. And right now, John Blackwell is 80th on ESPN's top 100 big board. I don't think that's a huge surprise or anything. John Blackwell is definitely the type of guy that's going to get a chance at the NBA someday. But essentially, right now, he doesn't have all the intangibles and stuff like that. And not the intangibles, the measurements and stuff like that NBA teams look for and stuff. So he's probably not going to go to the NBA. Can't imagine he would unless he just kind of breaks out real big sometime in the NBA draft process. But overall, here's the report from Travis. Says, I currently classify this one as toss up, although some 24/7 sports sources like Illinois' chances in this one. So essentially saying it seems like Illinois kind of leads in this situation. If this is the case, if this is something that could happen for Illinois, like I said, it would be huge for Illinois to be able to make this happen. They would be able to, fill a spot in Kylan Boswell that they lost. I know John Blackwell, if you listen to Wisconsin fans, they do not love some of the defense he displayed this past season. I was talking to a Wisconsin insider earlier today, and he was telling me that that was a big piece of contention for the fan base, which I get that, but at the same time, they also looked at him for a lot of defense last year. He was consistently getting the toughest matchups, having the most difficult things happen to him, and going after the most difficult guys last season. So I do think he was put in a bit of a sticky situation there. I think at Illinois, yes, he would get some tough matchups, but you also have a guy like Andrei Stojakovic that's going to help you out. Now, you had Andrew Rohde at Wisconsin, but Andrew Rohde was limited in some ways, and that's not to disparage him. He was a good defender, but he was limited in some ways, and I think that John Blackwell kind of had to take the brunt of it a little bit sometimes. And I do think that you're in a situation here with Andrei Stojakovic, especially with the way he defended in the NCAA tournament, where you could kind of see those two work off of each other a little bit more. So John Blackwell, if they're able to bring him in, if they don't bring in John Blackwell, they've still got some other good guys out there that they can look at. Stephon Vox is another one, the Providence transfer. He's 6'7". He really fits Illinois' system, the three-point shooting, the length, all these things. The problem is that he also doesn't play defense. So he would not be your kind of Kylan Boswell type. I think if you don't land John Blackwell, you would see Illinois go after a guy like Jalen Cox a little bit more because of the defensive upside that he has. If you do land John Blackwell, I think you would see Wisconsin go after maybe more of a depth rotational type of guard piece, and you most likely would have Quentin Coleman starting. I can't see Mihailo Petrovic on this team next year. I think he's just far too ball dominant for a Brad Underwood type of offense and system. And if you are ball dominant, that's okay, but you have to be a mismatch fiend. And Mihailo Petrovic is not that, right? Keaton Wagler. Of course, if you combine them, that'd be really good. Keaton Wagler, he was a mismatch king, a mismatch hunter. He could go out there, get Oscar Clough on him. He dropped 40 in that game by basically just switching Oscar Clough onto him as much as they possibly could. That was really when Illinois started to debut Keaton Wagler a whole lot more. But in this situation, I think John Blackwell would be a huge piece for this team. I think you would fit in very well with the offense. Wisconsin runs a pretty similar offense to the type of stuff that Illinois runs as well. A lot of the not fast pace, a lot of the 3-point shooting, a lot of that kind of stuff is what Illinois goes for. And then also you would have him, have some of the quick release stuff that maybe he enjoys a little bit more too. Now, there is the rumor about John Blackwell wanting the ball in his hand a little bit more. And so the thought process is, okay, if he comes in, would he be more of your facilitator, ball handler type of guy? And I think it'd be really interesting to see how that plays out in this situation. The nice thing with Illinois is they would have multiple guys who could be ball handlers for you. They're most likely going to get a transfer rotational player, maybe a transfer backup point guard type of guy who could come in, be a good defender, handle the ball for you. John Blackwell could do that. Quentin Coleman has some ability to do that. David Mirkovic has ability to do that. I think that's probably going to be something they work with David a lot next season, is having him bring the ball up the court and run some sets through him a little bit, maybe even some pick and roll stuff. When they ran the pick and roll with Keaton Wagler and David Mirkovic last season, that was pretty nasty at times when they ran that. So I would love to see what Brad Underwood and Tyler Underwood have up their sleeve in this situation, but it looks good for Illinois right now. I mean, if you're an Illinois fan and you're looking at this situation, you're saying, hey, we love the way this looks. This is a really good situation here with John Blackwell, the opportunity for him to come to Illinois. You got the family connections, everything else. And, you know, uh, Duke, one of the things that Duke doesn't have for them as much right now, I mean, and I meant to mention this, is that, um, Duke, they they have some roster construction stuff they're going through a little bit right now, right? And when you have as many guys as you have for Duke that can possibly go to the NBA or can possibly come back, also guys that leave that, you thought maybe were going to be depth pieces before. I mean, obviously John Blackwell doesn't fit into that criteria, but you do have some stuff you have to work through. And I think Illinois is in a much more solidified situation here. I think you're very likely to keep Jake Davis. I think you're pretty likely to keep David Mirkovic, Thomas Lovavicic, Zvonimir Visic. You got Quentin Coleman. I would lean toward Illinois keeps Andrei Stojakovic for next season, but I wouldn't say that's a for sure type of thing. But I do think it's telling that you don't see, Illinois going after like wings and forwards as much right now. You mostly see them going after guards, high level guards like Stephon Vox and John Blackwell, because you're looking for that scoring punch. You're looking for, possibly some defense there in the backcourt. as well. It's gonna be very interesting to see how this plays out for Illinois, how this plays out in this entire situation. We'll keep you updated here on the Big Ten Huddle. Let us know what your thoughts are on John Blackwell, the possibility of him going to Illinois next season.